Alright. Stream breaks. No clue why. Alright. Alright, so alright. We're attempting to fix the problem. When I say attempting, I mean attempting. Okay. Alright. Problem fixed, maybe? Who knows? Alright, alright. Alright, so what we got? What questions we got? Just kind of here. There's seriously 0 questions. This is sad. Alright. Come on, any questions at all? Come on, any questions though? It's a Q&A stream after all. And I really don't want to have to think of something actually, like, slightly more thought out. Literally any questions will do. Well, mostly. Alright, I think I'm literally just sitting here talking to myself now. That's unfortunate. Well. Dang. Alright, I guess. Here's what's gonna happen then. Oh, more viewers. Oh. Wait a minute. I just looked over at YouTube. Wait a minute. There's people watching? There's 2 people. Oh my god. Finally. Yeah, so one of the concurrent viewers is myself reading chat. So that's nice. Anyways, since there's more than just myself, any questions? It's a Q&A stream, after all. Come on. I'm sure you've got at least a single question. Alright, I guess then the podcast will be about water towers. Alright, I'm about to explain to you so many facts about water towers that your mind is going to explode. Okay? It's going to be a water tower stream then. Alright, so listen here. We have water towers of all varieties, right? You got the towers you see in towns, right? But then you also got in big cities like Manhattan and New York and stuff. Those cities have water towers on buildings so that, you can have water, right? But you ever look at a water tower, right? And you're like, why are there so many of them? Because, I mean, this is more of a city thing than a rural town. But cities have water towers just sitting on top of the buildings. So there's water towers on the buildings, and of course that water is going into the building it's on, because why have a water tower for another building? So, but to get the water up there, they use pumps. Now, some of you might say, well, why not just use like several different pumps, each for its own appliance? You know? Well, the idea is water towers are used as a buffer tank, okay? So when water towers get water pumped to them, they're basically creating less of a need for pumps. So, and considering that pumps take electricity, you're also cutting down the electricity cost to run those pumps. So what happen is, instead of spending like $1,000 on electricity, you're gonna spend like more like $100, and then you're just gonna use gravity to get the wire from that tank, that water tower, down into the apartment building, right? But another interesting thing about water towers is the fact that, so this is again about wire towers that you see on buildings and cities. So wire towers have compounding pressure. So what I mean is that, by that, is if you split a wire tower into 3 parts, so not like top, middle, and bottom, but more like the tank has 3 different sections: the top of the tank, middle of the tank, and the bottom of the tank. So what will happen then is you're going to have 500 pounds of pressure on the top of the section, right? But then you're going to have 1,000 on the middle section. This is because the water has 500 pounds itself, right, the middle section, but then it has the 500 pounds from the wire above it. So the third section is also going to have 1,500 pounds of pressure, because the top, middle, and its own weight. So this is all nice and good, right? But you also have the little rings you see around wire towers. Alright, so the thing about those rings is that they keep the wire from bursting out the sides, because sometimes they make they use less sturdy materials, save on cost, and so in fact they use those rings to keep the material together instead of it bursting out the sides. So what you're gonna have is you're gonna have one ring on that top section, like I was talking about earlier, because say a ring holds 500 pounds of pressure. So what's gonna happen, maybe you keyed in on this earlier, but what's gonna happen is you're gonna have one ring on top, 2 rings on that middle section, and you're gonna have 3 on the bottom. So what that's gonna do is it's gonna make a little like expanding amount of wire rings because of the wire pressure. So I say so a lot, don't I? Alright. So what you're gonna have is you're gonna have all these Alright, we're back. Stream software bugged a little bit. Alright, so there's an interesting feature of wire towers in Manhattan, and the lack thereof. Now, this isn't Manhattan, Kansas, this is not Manhattan, other states. This is Manhattan in, like, the New York area. Like, New York. Manhattan, New York. So, Manhattan, New York. If you build a building in Manhattan, New York, and it's 6 stories or less, you're gonna have no wire towers on it. Now, there's a reason for this, and the reason is that the reservoir that like gives water to Manhattan is 6 stories above the city. So what that does is it creates a gravity-powered pump, if you would. Kind of a wire tower of itself, just made out of, like, the ground. So, in fact, instead of using wire towers, they just use pipes to get water to your house and into your, like, water softeners and what have you. Actually, wait a minute. I don't know if they have water softeners in Manhattan. I'm just guessing. But, either way, what you're gonna have is high-rise buildings with, well, they won't have wire towers on top of the buildings, but in fact you're gonna have wire towers on buildings that are like 7 stories and 8 stories and so on up, but 6 stories and below is just not, it's not gonna be there. So, man, wire towers, am I right? Any questions about water towers, chat? And any water tower questions? And what have you? Well, you know I'm gonna have to title this now. It's gonna have to be the water tower stream. Yeah. This is probably the least amount of viewers I've ever had on a stream, which is unfortunate, but what can you do? I mean, I'm talking about water towers, for God's sake. I mean, how desperate you gotta be to talk about water towers of all things? Well, in fact, not very, because Neil deGrasse Tyson had what I believe is an hour-long talk show about water towers. Now, if he can talk about it for an hour, I can talk about it for like 20 to 25 minutes. Now, that's saying something, alright? Alright. So, for all the viewers that like to talk about lacrosse, and how I should do a lacrosse stream, alright, here's what I got for you. There's lacrosse books out there, alright? So, I could in fact do a lacrosse live stream, because now I have mobile live streaming enabled on my phone because of the 50 subscriber mark. So now I can do a lacrosse live stream for all the great viewers out there. I can show you what lacrosse is all about. Now, you heard it here first, folks, because, you know, I also want you to share this stream, because this is currently my worst stream ever. So, what I implore you to do is tell all your friends about the lacrosse live stream that may or may not happen soon, so that they themselves can tune in to the live stream when it happens. Now, hold me to it. Put in the comments. Put in everything. Where is the lacrosse live stream? Put it in Discord for that matter. Alright. Anyways. Have a great flippin' day. Take a shower. I mean, you kinda smell. And pick it back up tomorrow, because that's what life's about. Alright? This is gonna end the stream here. If you have liked it, make sure you subscribe. Hit the share button, like it, so that other people can like it too. I mean, every little bit helps. I also have a Patreon now, just in case, you want to support me that way. Helps out me, helps out the channel. The current goal with the Patreon is to be able to get a new mic and or PC. So, no matter what you do, go about your day with a little bit more happiness, because you watched this stream. Alright, that's gonna actually do it. See you later, YouTube. Have a great rest of your day.